Hey guys, so I'm here today to film a video. Basically, I'm going to follow Jackie Aina's foundation routine. She uploaded a video called Why Your Foundation Routine Sucks. And so I wanted to follow the routine and see if it works for someone with drier skin like me. And also, I just like Jackie Aina and her makeup always looks flawless. So I thought this would be a fun video to follow. She also has a video that's why your concealer routine sucks, and I was going to follow that one too, but this video has concealer in it, so I'm just going to go with everything in this video. I made notes and I'm ready. Before I get into this video, you should subscribe to my channel up every Tuesday and Thursday, and you should stick around for some cool videos. So let's get started. So the first thing she did was moisturize, which I already did. I put on my Clinique Dramatically Different moisturizer with the, I think it's like the Radiant Edition thing in it. And then I put on SPF, which is the Aveeno Protect and Hydrate SPF 30. I have been trying to be better with my SPF. We're getting there. So then she talks about always doing eye cream in the morning, and I am so bad at doing eye cream in the morning. In her video, she used the Forsali turmeric one. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was a sponsored video by Forsali anyways, so it makes sense, but I'm going to use the Ole Henrikson Banana Bright because this is also a yellow based under eye cream. Why can't I speak? Because it's so early and I'm still drinking my coffee, that's why. So she put that on. I'm always so bad at putting eye cream on in the morning. I think because I have like crepey under eyes, I'm like scared that it's going to, I have cat hair in my eye. I'm like scared that it's going to be too moisturized almost, or like fuck something up, but we're doing the Jackie Aina way, so we're gonna go with it. For primer, she used the Milk primer, which is perfect for me. And so for her, what she said she did was she wiped it on and then she kind of patted it into the skin, or pressed it into the skin, so we will try that. I feel like Macaulay Culkin. So that is the primer. I actually really like this primer. It's a good primer if you have dry skin. Like, it doesn't feel hydrating when you put it on, but it doesn't dry out your skin. I know Jackie has more oily skin. While this is drying, I'm just going to talk to you. Personally, I have normal to dry skin, and since it's the summer, it's definitely more normal right now. In the winter, I have dry skin. So for me, my skin is basically normal right now, but it can get a little dry and cakey, so I figured it would be fun to do this video. Next, she color corrects her lower half of her face because it's darker. I am the color of this t-shirt, so I don't have that. For me, my color correction will be more redness, but I don't have any green color correctors, so we are just going to skip that step and move on. I find that because I'm so fair, if I do green color correcting, it just like ends up looking green on me. Like, I either put too much on, or there's cat hair everywhere. I put too much on, or I don't put enough on and it does nothing. So I don't know, I've just never had any success with the green color corrector. I feel like in the camera I don't look very red, but when I look at myself in my mirror over here, I am like real red. This is my coffee. Jackie used the Mented foundation stick. I don't have that, but I was going to use the Too Faced Born This Way because I know it is one of her favorite foundations, but since she used a stick, I'm going to use a stick as well. I'm going to use the Makeup Forever HD stick. I am in the color 115 equals R230. This is my perfect shade. It is a pink toned foundation. I love it, and so because she used a stick, I'm going to use a stick. And what I liked in her video was that, you know, she said, you know, you can spray your brush before you blend it out. She also blended it out with a brush, which I'm going to do. Pray for me. This is the Real Techniques buffing brush. But she also said once you put the foundation stick on your face, just spray your face with your face spray instead of spraying your brush, because I find that spraying my brush doesn't really do much, but spraying your face sounds magical. So we are just going to draw this all over our face, just a little bit, you know, just some light coverage. I'm gonna spray my brush with the MAC Fix Plus, or sorry, my face with the MAC Fix Plus. Look, I'm already doing it wrong. Now, you don't want to put too much on, obviously, because, well, I mean, I do. I want it to be glowy as fuck. And then we're just going to blend this out. I haven't applied my foundation with a brush since 1995. I mean, okay, that's probably an exaggeration, but it's been a while. Also, Jackie doesn't do her eyeshadow first, and it's killing me softly. I mean, I think that looks, I mean, this foundation always looks nice, but I don't hate the way this looks. I will probably, I'm gonna add a little bit more coverage just along my jawline. Maybe everywhere, just little smidges everywhere. And I'm gonna spray my face again. But this time I'm gonna go super light because I do already have that foundation on, so I don't wanna be too extra, but it'll, sometimes if you find your stick foundations are too dry, this will probably be great also because it'll make them blend more easily. I actually really like this. Did Jackie do something? Jackie always does something, of course. I'm also doing this video because I feel like a lot of the times people are afraid to follow, or they'll watch a YouTuber's video and be like, oh, I don't have those products, I can't follow that video. But you can definitely follow the video based on what you have at home. Like, I didn't have her stick foundation, I used my own. You probably could have used a regular ass foundation also. And like, also because she has darker skin, she's obviously going to use different products or have different steps like the color correcting that I'm not going to use, but you can always make it your own. Okay, so that is on. She put the For Sally Skin Blur over top of her foundation when she was blending it in. I can't put oils on my face because I have dry skin. It just kind of like, it literally will pull the if I mix an oil with my foundation, my skin will pull the oil into my skin with the foundation and it will look awful. So now then she used her concealer. She said use a creamy concealer. I'm going to use the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. And she mixed it with her eye cream. So I'm going to put this on the back of my hand, and she also applied it with a brush, which I don't hate because I truly hate the applicator that is the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. So I just put a bunch of that on the back of my hand. I'm going to take the tiniest amount of this, and she also used a brush. I'm just stepping right out of my comfort zone today. Where is my concealer brush? Who knows, because I never fucking use it. Do people still use concealer brushes? Oh, here it is. So I have this concealer brush, which is from Sigma. I'm going to take that's probably too much, like a dab of that and mix it into my actual concealer. And so she applies it under her eyes, and she doesn't do the triangle. She kind of just follows that actual under eye area. So that's what I'm doing also. She also does her like concealer on her forehead. She does it kind of wider because she has a narrow face and she wants to widen it. I have the opposite. I have a very round face. So for me, I'm going to keep it thin there and then just kind of right down my nose. And I am going to put a little bit right here. Now the Jackie Aina trick is to let your concealer set. So we're going to sit here for a minute and we are going to let our concealer sit down, dry down. This is supposed to make your concealer more full coverage. I feel like maybe I should bring it up better. If I'm going to use a brush, I probably shouldn't do it so haphazardly. So the idea is that if you let your concealer dry down, it's going to increase the coverage, especially if you're using a creamy concealer, which is why I use the Nars instead of the Tarte Shape Tape. It would probably work with Tarte Shape Tape, but it is a little bit more of a matte concealer. So, and especially because you're mixing it with your eye cream, it's definitely going to make it even more creamy. She uses the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, but I don't have that, so we're going Nars. So we're just going to let this sit for a second. She fanned her face, I'll fan my face. Okay, I also forgot that she also puts her cream contour on at this point. She uses the again, her concealer in a darker shade. I don't have that, so we're not doing that for me, but I will use my Fenty contour stick Just kind of let it live its life. Now it's been a minute since I put this on because I did have to switch my memory card, so I'm gonna start blending out the concealer. She blends it out with her beauty blender, and she starts and just kind of does the edges first, and then she barely taps when you get closer to the eye, because she wants to leave all that coverage directly under the eye. So then Jackie uses a brush to blend her contour kind of into her concealer. I think I'm just gonna go in with my same foundation brush because it is small and just kind of blend again, which makes sense that she wants to blend into her concealer because you want to kind of blend it up so that there's no kind of line. Okay, I kept my contour very subtle. It's 8 million degrees out, so like bear with me. And then she goes over it with a sponge because her idea basically is to put everything on with brushes and then use a sponge just to kind of smooth it out because brushes do leave brush strokes. And then she takes a really light concealer and puts it right kind of in the hollow of her under eyes. For this, I am going to use Tarte Shape Tape because it's the only light concealer I have. And she just kind of puts that right there. That actually might have been too much, but I'm in the shade Fair is my lightest color. Oh, she placed it with a brush. Hold on. So I will just replace it with a brush. Like that. And then she blends it with a beauty blender. My kind of girl. And again, you're blending very gently, like you're just barely tapping in, and as you can see, it kind of just adds that lightness to that hollow. So if you do suffer from dark under eyes, this is a great tip. It's something that I actually already do a lot. Okay, we done that. So then she's going to apply her bronzer before she sets her face. She starts with a lighter bronzer and then goes in darker. So I am going to use the Fenty Beauty Inda Sun. Now she uses a huge powder brush. I personally prefer just a smaller brush for this, so that's what I'm gonna do. Actually, you know what? Let's do it. We're going full Jackie Aina today, so you're just gonna kind of powder. I just kind of get it on the very tip so that when I do bronze, it's not too much. I need like a more tapered bronzer brush. If you know of a good bronzer brush for a girl with a small ass face, let a girl know, because I could use one. So yeah, I'm just kind of swirling the very tip in, and then for the forehead, I'll just kind of do the sides, and she just kind of did this. There's a cat in here crying. Can you hear her? So you're going like basically in your hair. You know, I actually didn't hate that brush. It made it look kind of almost more natural and diffused. Not mad about it. Okay, so now we're gonna powder our face with a setting powder. I never powder my face with loose powder, so pray for me. I don't think she used Laura Mercier. I'm gonna use the Hourglass powder because it's the only setting powder I have. Take it kind of on the butt of the beauty blender, not a lot, and just kind of press that in all around her face. She starts around her mouth, so I guess that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so I didn't put a lot of that on, but I did set my face with powder for the first time, with a loose powder for the first time ever. So then she sets her under eyes with the Fenty Beauty powder. I have lavender. She obviously doesn't have lavender, but this is what I'm going to use. And actually, instead of using a beauty blender, she uses a kind of more like a highlighting brush. It really reminded me of this kind of brush from, this is the highlighting brush from Sigma, and she just kind of pats that into the under eye. So I'm going to take a small amount of powder, tap that off. I am actually, because I have crepey under eyes, I'm going to go over and just kind of pat those wrinkles in first. And then I'm going to pat that in. I don't know, I don't love a powder patted in like this normally, but we will see. She also uses some of that powder to highlight her face, so just kind of putting it right on the highest points to add a little bit of highlight because it is a brightening powder, which I actually don't hate that idea. Then she's gonna bake slightly directly under, like just directly under the eyes. So I like to kind of tap the powder off. And again, she's not really pressing the powder in. She's just kind of lightly placing it like that. That's it. That's all she wrote. So again, you're not pressing it in like a regular bake. You're just kind of putting a small amount of powder under there to very gently bake. And you're doing it just right under your eyes. And then she also does the bridge of her nose. I have a really tiny nose, so hopefully that looks okay. Okay, and then while that's baking, she puts on blush. I'm gonna use Benefit Dallas because it's my dream blush, and it's what I always wear. So then she takes a darker bronzer and kind of puts that over. She said it's all about layering, so I'm gonna use the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer because it's all I have. And I'm going to, again, use the same brush with a light hand, because this bronzer is definitely more pigmented than the other one, and you're just kind of, again, gonna buff this around. And we're just gonna do brows, so give me a second, I'm gonna do it off camera. Brows are on, I use the Anastasia Dip Brow Gel. Her next trick is to take your lighter powder on kind of a small brush, and you're just gonna kind of put it on the inner part of your, that looks a little dark to me. Maybe I put a little too much on there, or maybe there was eyeshadow on this brush already. We're gonna have to blend that out in a second. Yeah, I think there might have been eyeshadow on this brush already. I think because I'm so fair, this looks a little crazy, so I'm just gonna take that highlight brush and just kind of blend it out. Although once I have the rest of my makeup on, it might look okay. You know, it doesn't look bad. You're basically blending just kind of in the inner part of your brow. I think it's just supposed to kind of make your eyes, it kind of just creates that contour like on the top bridge of your nose. And then for actual eyes, we are taking our darker bronzer and just putting that in the crease with a fluffy brush. I'm just gonna take a crease brush from Sigma. Oh, I didn't, hold on. We need to prime our eyelids. So now we're taking this fluffy brush on our powder. I kind of feel like I look crazy. My bronzer might be a little too bronze, and we are just blending this into the crease. And we're going to kind of stamp it on the outer part. I remember I made a note that Jackie blends her like crease color all the way up into the front of her brow, but like I just think I have larger brow bone space than her, so I'm gonna blend it up that way, but like not too much. So she used a bronzy Stila glitter for her lid. My bronzer is lighter, my face is lighter than her, so I'm gonna use just this cream color from Hourglass. It's definitely more taupe than bronze, but it's kind of bronzy for like me. And then she brings her eyeshadow up above her crease, which is actually what I've always done on the front of my brow, or the front of my eyes. Then she took Stila's Wanderlust, which I actually own, and put it on the inner part. This is obviously not going to look as dramatic on me because I am pasty white. But it does look really pretty. And take your crease brush and just kind of blend again over that to make everything blend beautifully. She did a brown pencil on her lash line. I ain't about the life. I'm going to put a liquid liner on probably. And then she did her highlight before wiping her bake away, which is wild to me, but it could work. For highlight, I am going to use the Fenty Beauty Sandcastles. I just feel like it'll work with this. And I'm not going to put on a bronzer underneath. I don't know. How do people get their highlights to pop without using a liquid highlight underneath? I also feel like when I bake, especially, my highlight just doesn't pop the same. My camera's dying and I'm terrified. Instead of dusting her bake away, she just kind of takes that same brush that she used and taps it into place. Which I definitely thought wasn't going to work, but now that I've done it, it doesn't look so bad. Then we take she said any loose or any pressed finishing powder. I'm going to use Macaroni Skin Finish Natural. She used like a Charlotte Tilbury one, and we're going to just kind of tap that lightly over over your hollow. I think she used a smaller brush than this, but I just don't want to get another brush. Oh, that actually is not bad. I thought that I was going to hate that, but I don't. Okay, so then we are misting the skin. I need to do mascara and stuff first. I think she does mascara last anyways. We're misting the skin, and then we're pressing it in with a beauty blender, which is something that I've also learned from her. This is something that I actually did kind of incorporate into my makeup routine recently that I'm not mad about. Now, I am a double mister, so I'm going to take my Milani Mist and Fix, or Make It Last, and do the same shit. Okay, that's basically all she does except for lips. I'm just going to go finish off my eyes, eyeliner, fix my hair, and I will be back to finish this look. Okay, we're back. I put on some liquid liner. Jackie's last tip was to use your highlighter for your inner corner highlight, something I also always do because I just find that highlighters pop better. Also, my hair is up in this little situation because I got my extensions put back in the other day. I am going to do a video about using extensions to hide your undercut, but I haven't had a chance to wash my extensions yet, and if you know, you've gotten extensions before, you know that they never look very good until you wash them. So I just took them in a bun, put this on to hide my undercut, and took my bangs out, and I'm feeling cute. Last step is lips, and she used, again, just kind of a nude color, so I'm going to take Truffle Tease. Now, Jackie did put a lip liner on. I'm not going to because I don't have any nude lip liners because I'm the kind of YouTuber who just started wearing nude lipsticks a week ago. So I'm just gonna put this on. It's a nice nude. And so what she did was she kind of drew over her Cupid's bow. So I'm just gonna do that with lipstick. And also kind of overlined the sides of her lips, which I do anyways because mine are uneven, so. Kind of like this color. If I didn't tell you, this is Maybelline's Truffle Tease. So this is the finished look. It is 11 a.m. I am supposed to have, it's 11:10. I was supposed to leave 10 minutes ago. My husband's mad at me, but it's whatever. This is the finished look. My brows look a little like light today, but whatever. This is the finished look. So I'm going to keep this on all day. I'm going to go run some errands right now, and I will be back later to kind of do a check-in and see how the Jackie Aina technique lasts all day. So if you guys want to see how this lasts, then keep watching. Okay, so it is 3:30, so this has been on for about 4.5 hours now, and I really didn't get a chance to like kind of do like a final thoughts before I was running out the door this morning when I put this on. So I figured I would do my first check-in and kind of tell you what I think about this. I mean, after 4 hours, everything is pretty much the same. Is this cute? Or like, should I tuck them in? Let's try a little tuckage. I just feel like I look like I have antenna, which like, I'm not sure how I feel about that. So yeah, I finished this at 11 o'clock this morning. I didn't hate the way it looked. I think it looks basically the same. I was out running errands. It's fucking hot out. I was sweating my balls off. And I also had some lunch. But overall, I think everything looks great. I actually really like the way my under eyes look. I generally press like lots of powder into my under eyes as opposed to just kind of this light amount. Like it's like a light bake. I'm usually so afraid to bake because it can make my under eyes look pretty cakey, but I'm kind of into it. So I'm going to give you guys a zoom. So this is what the foundation looks like. I haven't touched up or anything. It feels like glowy and dewy and skin-like. I did touch up my brows, make them a little more intense because they weren't very intense. It's a little cakey kind of on my upper lip area. But other than that, I'm kind of really into it. Like, check out my under eyes. Like, this one specifically looks extra smooth, and I'm not sure why. I do think that for some reason, right here in my outer part of my eye, it looks a little bit cakey here, and same with on this side. So I'm not sure if that's because my primer mixed with my concealer, or maybe I just didn't set there. Like maybe I blended out and then I just kind of set my under area and then moved on with my life. So it's a little cakey here. But other than that, I'm kind of into it, especially my under eyes. Jackie's onto something. So like 4 hours in and I am happy, except for my antennas. 4 hours in and I'm into it. I didn't really do her like lip idea this morning, so I'm actually gonna put some lipstick on now. Again, I'm not lining my lips because I don't have lip liner, but I'm gonna put on kind of a darker nude. This is Max Whirl. Probably should have put lip balm on first, but oh well. Then I'm going to take a super light color. This is Max Love You Back, and put it right in the center. Now she used a like white based pink. I don't really have any except for like Max Saint Germain, but I am going to do something absolutely wild right now and put a lip gloss on over top. This is ColourPop's Lychee Me, and I only own this because it came as a freebie in one of my packages because it was late. It's the only lip gloss I own. I haven't worn lip gloss in 84 years. How do you put lip gloss on without getting your lipstick all over it? Any tips? Okay, so I was gonna give lip gloss a chance again, and I just put that on and was like, oh wow, I hate it. So, okay, my camera died when I was putting my lip gloss on in the last clip, but I had said everything I wanted to say with the foundation, so I just left it. It is now 9:30. I don't have my phone in here. I just checked on my iPad. But, so this has been on for like 10.5 hours. And here's the thing. I finished watching the new season of Orange is the New Black. So for the last 2.5 hours, I've been sobbing. So the foundation is not looking so great in many places. But the places where it's hasn't been cried off don't look bad. Like under my eyes right here in the very center where like my foundation wasn't touched because I cry out of these two sides of my eye, it looks pretty good. Like even look at my eyeliner up here. It's a disaster. I'm not even going to zoom you in because it looks so bad right now. There's no point. It's all been cried off. I had a burrito for dinner. Like, I'm a disaster. But I will say, overall, I really did like a lot of these techniques, and I definitely will incorporate some of them into my foundation routine going forward. I liked the spraying of the face spray on my skin before blending it in, which I will definitely incorporate into my routine, especially in the winter months. I also liked how the concealer looked a lot. And I actually didn't mind setting my face with a powder. And I loved kind of just patting my bake in and then dusting over it with a finishing powder like the Maybelline Skin Finish Natural. It looked so good. I mean, obviously, anyone that watches Jackie Aina knows that she knows what the fuck is up. And I liked a lot of these tips, and I definitely think it worked. My hair is a disaster. Everything's a disaster right now. I'm so tired and sad. Comment down below if you watched the new season of Orange is the New Black and cried, because your girl did. So, I mean, overall, I think it was a great foundation routine. I liked it. I definitely want to try out some of my other foundations, some other concealers, see if it would work with a Tarte Shape Tape concealer, because that is the concealer that I use like every single day. But yeah, I'm here for it. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below what you guys think of it. If you have followed Jackie Aina's tutorial, or if you have any other like foundation like tips and tricks to make it last on dry skin all day, I'm here for it. As you can see, my skin isn't super dry. Like I get cats. See this cat? I get, I don't want to say oily, but like I get a little shiny on my forehead and my chin. It's definitely not oily in any means, but I think it's more so sweaty. So yeah, let me know down below what you guys think, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!